Hello, I'm Suman Sekhar and I'm here with Dr. Sukant Khurana, sir, who is a well-known entrepreneur, mentor, public speaker, and a scientist. I welcome you, sir. So, how are you,
Thank you.
sir?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Okay, good, sir. Sir, I would like to ask you some questions.
hmm
So, today, most of the persons doing work from home. So, sir, what are the advantages and disadvantages of work from home?
Uh, Quite many. I mean, see, depends on the sector. For example, our company works primarily or almost entirely in a work from home. There are obviously some physical requirements. So, a lot of white collar jobs can be moved to work from home. Um, there are some exceptionally good studies which have shown disadvantage, but by and large, some amazingly good studies show that there are advantages in terms of productivity. One of the disadvantages, you get slightly less bonding when you don't see people. You also get people can be more rude to others if they don't see a face, right? So when you're just somebody on a screen or you're just an email address or a WhatsApp contact or a Telegram contact, people can be more rude. So when you're working in person, but the flip also applies from psychology point of view that if you are actually more than just a number or a name, people are meeting you on a daily basis, they'll be kinder, nicer to you, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there is that human element. But work from home has taken away a lot of horrible office politics. It's no longer possible, right? So, um, in fact, I have seen horrible politics when I was at Cold Spring Harbor. Um, I recorded it also. People even using racist posters, people destroying others' experiments. It's not just in India. In fact, something I intend to release soon. And when I was in India, in science, hardly any good science is possible. People breaking into office, playing with reagents, data being fudged. So when you think of good work from home and this petty politics, backbiting, groupism, nepotism, a lot of it goes down. So that's one advantage. Commute time goes away, right? These are all advantages. You can actually focus on high quality work from fewer individuals. There are some issues when there are serious financial things involved. People often do prefer things being done on a company campus rather than work from home. There are two, three other challenges um, of working from home. That if people are working in a small home, they may have kids, they may have parents, they may have pets, siblings, significant others, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, disturbing, who do not understand that there is work requirement. And for lower end workers, in the sense quality wise, performance wise, it's a major impediment. Work from home works well when you have dedicated workers. So we see a sharper bimodal curve. People who are good, they tend to perform better when they're working from home, and people who are already subpar, they perform worse. We have realized most of the white collar training can be done from long distance or occasionally calling physical workshops, and work from home is sufficient. We don't see huge challenges. In fact, work from home can replace 90% of office jobs. There has been a great resignation movement when people have been called back to work, because work from home is not simply work from home. People realize, let's say they're sitting in the US, instead of working from US, they're taking salary in US and happily staying in Mexico or Thailand and enjoying beautiful weather. So work from home has far diverse meaning, right? It's not just work from
Yes.
uh, home in the place where you're getting salary. Um, it can also allow for more flexible hours, and it actually even protects you from a boss if the boss is psychotic, which happens right at times. So
Yes, sir.
essentially, work from home has a overall, in our opinion, if you look at growth of Ioncure, which has been rather rapid, we are very thankful uh, to our employees. We're thankful to people who have supported us, but went through interesting failures, went through interesting successes. Um, we had a major thing in COVID 19. We had a lot of leads. We couldn't go far because of horrors of Indian science. Previous principal scientific advisor, absolutely horrible people in Indian science, not the prime ministers or the ministers or the chief ministers. In fact, politicians and bureaucrats are thousands of times better than the current crop of scientists and intellectuals in India who are destroying success. Actually, the failures are attributable to the so-called intellectuals and the mafia. But what we had is a guy called Tejas Gupta who came work for us, gave us fake data, right? Work from home allowed for sabotage, and we feel we could have saved millions of lives, trillions of dollars, if we didn't have such horrible incidences, which were obviously supported by several top people of Indian science, right? Current heads of Indian academies of sciences and all, backing such horrible actions, right? There are criminals like Geti Hassan, Vijay Raghavan, Apurva Sarin, Satyajit Mir, Tapas Kundu, um, Anurag Agarwal, Alok Dhawan. India is full of horrible criminals at higher level and middle level. So if it wasn't like an orchestrated horrible effort, India, what we could have done for India and what we could have done for world would have been great, and we could have mitigated some of these things if the model wasn't work from home. Some of the bonding goes away, some of the body language, right? For example, me being boss of CEO of Ioncure, I know people as a voice, often as a text message. I don't really know them how they look, right? Are they feeling depressed that day?
Yes.
Are they rubbing their eyes, right? Are they
Yes.
feeling very down with their shoulders really stooped, right? So for me, they are a voice on a screen. So that does take away human element, and that does add certain limitations, but without having to pay a lot of infrastructural costs, right? Without
Mm.
having to even ask people to leave their homes. So that way, whatever money I'm paying, in some cases, the entry level money that I'm paying, despite being a relatively small startup, is twice the market rate. And the reason I'm able to pay that is fundamentally that people are happy, they're being paid more, but I'm not having to pay for their living things of coming to work in Delhi, or let's say if you're doing something in Montreal or something in New York or something in Bangalore. They could be living in any place, anywhere in the world, and working for us, right? So that commute costs, relocation costs that have gone away, and then relative to the market they're in, if we pay them better, we motivate them better, we give them exciting opportunities. But as I was discussing with you before this, you mentioned that the work should be exciting, not repetitive. So I think automation will go a very long way in work from home. So if you give people challenging tasks and they feel they are doing well, they're learning, they will continue to stay on and grow, right?
Right. So,
So, so I think that's a very important thing that you mentioned, that the work should be challenging, work should be exciting, and I think something that at least at IMCure, what we strive to do is
yes.
we strive to train people continuously. We say, okay, we may not be, we try, we may not always be able to give the highest salary, but we'll give you the highest growth possible. So that sort of has remained as one of our core values, that we take youngsters, we take absolute freshers, and we train them to the highest degree that they can be trained anywhere in the world. And that has made us have very high retention, right? Even multinationals such as Google, Microsoft cannot boast of the level of retention we have. People come in and they stay with us like a family. And that's all from work from home, where I've not met most of the people who work for me. I have people in my company at the rank of manager, I've never met them, right? So this is possible because of understanding of human psychology. It's also possible because of exciting work. But I also realize work from home is not suitable for everyone. So I think analyzing pros and cons is important, but I think the future of work is work from home, and we have fully embraced it. Thank you.
Right. So, thank you so much, sir. It was so interesting. So, anyone who is interested in free training that Ioncure provides can apply at volunteer@ioncurerx.com. So, thank you, sir, for this session.
Thank you, Suman. Thank you, everyone.